Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN. Here on Honest J. Nowak, let's get into some new territory. Because after all, there were a couple times where I basically have talked a lot about certain sports, but never this one in particular. Bowling. Yeah. I feel like it's about time that I went ahead and got on into that, because after all, there's quite a lot that I want to say about that too. Bowling as a whole has been a pretty big endeavor that I've taken on. The last 15 years of my life have certainly been really big. I pretty much remember at one point where I basically went down towards a classic bowling lane, which is located near Appleton Avenue, and I've certainly done a lot of good stuff over there. But of course there's also the Village Bowl and even the Krieger's Bowling Alley, which are also found in Menominee Falls. So of course, that's 3 in ways. But never will I forget the many memories that I've had made in any of those places. Krieger's especially, because after all, most of my childhood was technically found within that same area. There has been quite a lot that I was able to do in that area. There was an arcade down in that same place as well, and the bowling alley was also complete with its own party room and a giant vending machine. And let me tell you, we're mainly going into the party room because after all, there's oftentimes raffles or giveaways or other such occasions that take place there, and I haven't been there in a while for any raffle or anything else. Maybe because of NCOV. But let's leave that out of here, shall we? Well, of course Village Bowl and Classic Lanes, they do have just as many great memories as ever. As a matter of fact, Village Bowl and Classic Lanes, those were pretty much the last ever bowling alleys I've ever gone to, especially this year alone. Because as far back as January, February, and probably even March, I basically went down to those areas a few times. But of course, because of everything that's been going on the last 6 months, I'd say for sure that we're going to expect a lot to probably not go so well. And I'm pretty much saying this with a heavy heart because after all, there's been so much that's been happening. And even worse, there just hasn't been any real way to stop any of this. Not by our own knowledge. But still, bowling in general is something that will always remain in my memory, lodged in the hippocampus. And that is for sure. So you know what? I guess now would be a great time to, well, I guess stop talking about this because after all, bowling, it's just a game where you go bowling, get a strike or a spare, gutter balls, and yada yada yada, but of course, I mean, it's a pretty simplistic sport as it is. Nothing like NFL, FIFA, lacrosse, basketball, or baseball. Bowling is that simplistic. It's not as self-explanatory though as you might think. Well anyways, that's pretty much it here on HJN for the time being. But if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.